Now let's get going. You guys can still hear me, right?
Purple.cut.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Huh? Oh, I can hear you. Just fine.
Kidding.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
too
can.
loud? Okay.
Green, black.
All right, I'm going to introduce... oh, that's the thing. Mike, you said you don't care. You said you don't care about your last names being used, right?
In this stream, this podcast, Wintermeyer actually plays well for me because it adds.
Oh, so do use it. Please do.
People see techies and then they think, oh, this is a tech
I-
guy doing a tech podcast. This makes sense. We should hire him. Turn on
Nice.
nice.
I'm gonna introduce Mike first in this case, since you're the new person here.
That's a good soft line.
Or wait, did you like Drew or Andrew? I don't remember anymore. Yeah, Antermeyer.
Yeah, let's go Drew Wintermeyer.
Okay, cool.
I think that's the way to go.
All right, here we go. Oh, that's right. I gotta actually record this. Okay, it's important.
Do we actually get the music and all that too, or does that happen?
That should come through.
That's the coolest thing about your podcast, because all that's in post in all the other ones I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have all. Now that you mention that, there we go. I'm gonna make sure all the audio is coming through to you guys. All right. It's possible I screwed this up. It's been a while. Anyway, in 3.
Oh, I'm back.
In 3, 2, 1. Hold on. Screwed it up already. I don't know why that didn't work. All right. All of a sudden, this frickin' thing wants to act like it needs a place to save it. Okay, you weird thing. Okay. In 3, 2, 1.
Tech Bees.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Techies, the podcast about simplifying our lives one gadget at a time. This is episode number 95 for Tuesday, October 13th. Just double checking on that. 2020. It's been some time, but we're back. My name is Shane, and we have a new guest here today, a Mr. Mike Kulas. Mike, what is going on, man?
Oh, not much. Just enjoying the day. How's it going with you guys?
Oh, it's going great. And when you say you guys, you do in fact mean that there is an additional person here, and that is our longtime returning guest on the show. That is Drew Wintermeyer. Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, Shane. Very, very happy and excited to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Good to hear. Good to hear from both of you. And I see Mike is proudly displaying his Thor poster in the background. Gotta love that.
Yep.
Very nice. Okay, well, so there's been a lot that's happened since the last episode, I believe, and I think Drew was actually, in fact, on the last episode, but...
Was that the last episode at the start of the pandemic?
It was around then, yeah, so...
Wow. How have you boys been doing in your staying at homes? Are you guys still staying at home, or are you out there getting dirty with it?
Oh, still staying at home. Even brought my desk home. So
I'm pretty close to just going out there and spitting in strangers' mouths any second now.
Jeez.
I'm ready to let the zombies take me, man. I think
it's getting close.
I've reached an emotional limit. I know that might not be, great ethically, but
Been
been in
It's
this
fine.
room for fucking 6 months. What? No, I'm great. Everything's good. What's up with you dudes?
Yeah,
Same
living the
old, same
dream.
old.
Cool.
Work.
Prime Day today. Anyone get any gadgets?
Oh, crap,
Anyone
was that
get
today?
anything? You guys get anything?
No,
No.
I was too occupied.
I watched the
I-
Apple event today. That's all I did.
Yes.
I slept through the Apple event today, but yeah, I heard that people watched it, so I'm looking forward to a recap. I think it's coming up.
Yes.
You
in
doing an
fact.
Apple recap today?
In fact, that is what we will be getting to here in just a moment.
Segway.
That's right, it's a special report. Apple had their October 2020 keynote today, in fact, which seems like just yesterday, and in fact it was just last month that they held their, go figure, September event, which was, this is out of the ordinary for Apple. Normally they would do this on, they would do their iPhone event in September, and this was so they kind of swapped them, where they had their iPad event last month, and this month they had the iPhone. But there was a few announcements. First of which was this is probably the most lame, the one, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. People might be interested in this, but it's the HomePod Mini, which the best part about this whole thing is that it's actually somewhat reasonably priced now compared to before. I don't even know off the top of my head what the previous HomePod was. I just know it was too rich for my blood. And I buy a fair amount of Apple products, as you guys may know. But so this thing it's $100 for this one, and which is then, I shouldn't say I guess it's comparable to one of the Echoes. Now that I think about it.
Oh, so this is Apple's Echo, right?
It is.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I guess it's more of a direct competitor. Yeah, it really is. I was going to say it's more of a direct competitor with Google Home, but that's also along the same lines, isn't it?
With
right.
Amazon Echo, yeah.
One of the things they mentioned in the keynote was that, and I guess it's a keynote. I mean, it's all virtual now, so do you still call it a keynote? Maybe I'm misusing that term there, but
I don't even know what it's supposed to mean, honestly.
Yeah, they just announced a bunch of products.
Speaker? Is that the main? That's the headliner? If it was a rock band?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good.
Well, they didn't call it a keynote on their site. They call it "Watch the Event." That's all they said.
That's right. It's just an event, I guess. Well, whatever. But so, I guess you can use a couple of these. If you get two of these, you can use them in stereo, which is, I don't know, it's kind of nice, but you got to shell out the $200 to do so. Obviously, you don't need to, but if you're a hardcore Apple fanboy like myself, you might consider it. Not really, though. I don't even know if I'm going to get one of these things, to be honest. But they added a few features in there, like it'll detect when your phone is near for doing certain tasks. I don't really know if that's useful to me currently.
Can't you send like a memo from like one end to the other if you had like multiple speakers or something like that?
Yeah.
On your iPhone.
Yeah. So there was they did announce this. What I'm comparing to on the watch, you can currently do this walkie-talkie thing, and they have this feature now called Intercom, which is supposed to allow you to basically transmit to any Apple devices. Well, anything that has a speaker on it, I suppose. Which I thought was actually kind of cool that they're expanding that. I mean, some people would argue that's super insecure or something, but I don't know. It seems interesting to be able to. What was that, Drew?
I guess it depends. Like I don't know how they're sending that data.
Well, I gotta say, Apple has always been pretty good about people's privacy.
Their end-to-end encryption with like their iMessage, as long as you like have like another Apple device that you're sending it to, is pretty good.
Right, exactly. They also have integration with your HomeKit, I guess is what their version of that is called, and then Apple Maps. Kind of an interesting thing. If you ask it something, it'll automatically bring it up on your CarPlay in your car type of thing, or get it ready for that. And then they've got black and white models in this one now, which I believe it was just the white model prior to this. Or was that wrong? I thought it was only the one color. But either way, $99. You can pre-order on the 6th of November, and they start shipping on the 16th. So that's it for that boring thing. Now for the main event. Pretty much everything from here on out is about the iPhone. It's all about that iPhone.
So they're still making that.
They're still, in fact, making that. Is still, in fact, their flagship product, as it turns out. At least as far as I'm aware. I know that they're putting a lot into their services these days. As you know, last month they announced their Apple One, which is a big bundle of their services, and a lot of companies are a little worried that this could really be tapping into their bottom line a little bit here if people jump ship to, bundle some of the Apple services for a little less money. Anyway, that was last month. This month, they announced the 5G version of the iPhone 12, and what was kind of nice. So this is a little uncharacteristic of Apple, because in the past, I feel like they have been pretty delayed in embracing some of the newer generations of wireless technology, and this time it seems like they're a little bit ahead. Now I could be wrong. Correct me. I don't know. Drew, you know some of the other phones out there.
I do. Yeah.
Are those any better? Have they come out with 5G any faster? I mean, for some of the big names at least.
I think Google Pixel 5 is still slowly leaking. They just kind of have been drizzling stuff about it.
Okay.
I don't honestly know if I'm gonna go that route. And then Google has done a weird branching thing where they're putting out this souped up version of the 4.
Okay.
To cut costs, because I think they saw COVID and they're either they're gonna have a lot of money or they're gonna have no money. So we just two separate ends of the spectrum for their new release.
Sure. Gotcha. So there are phones out there that do have it now, though, right? I mean, I would imagine so.
I mean, they're advertising it, so I would think
yeah, you'd
that
think.
commercial about that girl in the store and that man with the mask outside the store.
Okay.
She's pulling out a big G5 event sculpture, and he's I think you should go bigger. And she's bigger than this. And then they're balloons. Do you not know? Really? I've been watching a lot of Cheers on Hulu, so I've been getting some ads.
Okay. I have not. I do not subscribe to Hulu. I haven't.
For the Cheers, I gotta watch Norm. I'm trying to figure out if him and Vera make it.
Norm Macdonald? No. Norm
from Cheers.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what you
Yeah.
said. You said Cheers. Sorry. I thought. Okay, it could have gone two directions. Yeah. Sorry.
Comes in the door and they all go Norm.
Yep.
I was just
And
thinking.
later on Deep Space Nine, he reverses his name and he's super old, so he looks like an alien.
Sure.
Morn? No?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
No, actually, that's a thing. That's that was meant.
I did not. I was not aware. That was TNG.
That was Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you probably said all this. I'm terrible at paying attention.
No, it's good, man. So, the iPhone 12. What are you excited about? What's
Well, the 5G. I mean, the 5G is a big deal, I think. And they talk about how it's got the most bands than any other smartphone, allegedly, on the market right now. Plus they added in this auto switching to LTE technology. When you don't need it, it's auto detecting that on the fly, I guess. Which, I mean, I guess they kind of done that kind of stuff in the past, but they made this one seem like it was a little smarter in terms of that for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's not smooth. That if you're calling over Wi-Fi or something, you can tell the change.
Right. So they've gone back. They've reverted to their flat edges on the phone. Like right now, the current iPhone, the last several iPhones have this. You guys can't really see it right now, but have the rounded edges. Going back to the flat edge design, which was present in the iPhone 4, 5. What is it? 4 through 5S.
I think.
4, 5,
Oh,
and
it was
5S.
5. Yeah, it was 5.
Yeah, which I personally like better. It was kind of funny with the 6 that they started doing the curved edges. Literally the same update, and I've said this before on the show, I think, but the same update that they finally put a timer on their camera, of all things, which is hilarious to me because suddenly you couldn't set your phone upright but without any sort of kickstand or special case or anything. Anyway, they're finally adding that back in. And looks like black, white, red, green, and blue, at least in the iPhone 12. The They're calling this display Super Retina XDR OLED display, which whole bunch of fun-sounding words together. I guess they're doing that across the board on the all versions of the iPhone 12 now, which is kind of nice. They're also doing this ceramic shield technology, which is
that's interesting.
it is very. They've never done, to the best of my knowledge, they've never done anything quite like this before. But they're embedding ceramic into the glass, which is supposed to make it improve drop performance by 4 times.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so they're getting stronger and stronger with that glass. But I think they've said that kind of stuff before, so you have to be seen, maybe for sure.
I mean, I've dropped my iPhone 11 like 4 times within this past year I've had it, and only nicked it a little bit. Not even the glass. It fell on the glass and hasn't cracked yet.
Sure,
So that's
it's pretty good already.
something
Yeah.
to say about it. Yeah.
I'm like super lucky, and I've never broke any phone that I've ever. So I'm probably gonna break the one that's in my pocket, like in about an hour. But
Knock on wood.
I mean, I guess like I've always had a case and some tempered glass over top them, so
Yeah,
it'd be cool to have a phone right out of the box that I felt comfortable not having a case for. It's
it
like
would be cool.
$800, so I can put it in a $20 piece of plastic.
Right, exactly. And it looks, a lot of phones look really nice these days. That's always been my thing since every iPhone I've ever had. I think I tried a case like once maybe, and it was barely at all. I think Mike and I have been on the non-case crowd for a while now. And
Yeah, I got sick of okay, I used to get the what was it? The not the OtterBox, it was something else. Life-proof box.
Okay.
And I was like, why am I keep on buying these? 'Cause I would end up just taking them off. So
mhm.
it was a waste of money. I mean, it was good for when I went out hunting and stuff. At least I kept my phone protected from the elements. But now I just don't see a reason to.
Yeah, it's all aesthetic for me. It's all just pure, whatever you want to call it.
I feel like that
Visual
they brought
aesthetic.
that old school look back. That's a sell for me. That's why I'm probably gonna buy this thing.
It is nice, and to top that off, their last several chips they've added in this Bionic chip they have in the name. This is the A14 Bionic, which is apparently 50% faster than any other smartphone out there. At least the chip itself. It doesn't
I feel like they
necessarily.
say that every year.
They do, I think.
Yeah.
5 nanometer deal, 11.8 billion transistors, 6 cores. It's got machine learning and neural type shit.
Neural type shit.
All that kind of stuff. Fun stuff, what do I know about it? League of Legends is coming to the iPhone as well. That's exciting. I don't know if anyone cares about that.
Wait, what's coming to the iPhone?
League of Legends. I
League of
guess.
Legends.
Oh,
Take that for what it's worth. This thing's got
played that one. Sorry.
2 cameras on the back. I should say 3 total on at least the base iPhone 12 if you count the front-facing camera, of course. You got night mode on this thing, and night mode time-lapse is new. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, I can't do that on my Pro even right now, I don't believe. They did announce the MagSafe adapter, or the new MagSafe used to be a thing on MacBooks. Tony was all about this, and rightfully so, because if somebody accidentally tripped over the wire, it would just come out instantly and not, spill your laptop across the floor. And in this case, it's not quite the same. They did add these magnetic rings in the iPhone itself now, which allows, it makes sense because it allows you to, it essentially just snap onto the charger better, and you don't have to worry about aligning it as much, which is kind of a
It
nice thing.
seems shocking that they're doing a charger still. I would think that they would have gone 100% to wireless charging.
That's what we're talking about. This is wireless.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It is wireless. Yeah.
Oh,
So
wait, so you don't need a case then, because they keep on advertising the cases over all the phones.
you don't need the case. The case is the reason for the. So I'm actually really excited about this personally because in the past you did need a case, essentially, or one of those stickers to put on the back of the phone to get something
No, you
like
don't.
this. You don't need this at all. The reason they're doing cases with it is, for people that still want cases, sometimes that magnet's not going to go through, so like it adds an additional magnet or something to the case. And then they have these wallet ones that actually allow you to just snap onto the back just with the magnet technology, and I don't know, it's kind of cool.
I like the wallet thing, but I like the MagSafe because of. Did you see like the new like mounts for like you could put in your car? It's just like a clip,
Well,
and you just.
so it sounds like
What?
Belk. I mean, I did look this up because I do specifically want a car charger, and it sounds like Belkin is working on one currently. I don't think they have anything available for the car yet, at least.
Well, yeah, I just saw it like them show it, and I know you could get the magnetics, but then you had to add like an extra puck or something on the back of your phone.
Right.
So it's
That's
nice to have something like without having to add all these extra accessories just to make that work.
exactly, and that was kind of my issue, that I had to get these separate attachments in the past. So the thing that I'm a little bit unclear about right now is it sounds so they said this is all key, or is it Qi? I always forget. It's Qi, right? Backwards compatible. However, my initial thinking, without really thinking about it, is that probably doesn't automatically mean that it's magnetic. I don't know yet. I don't know for sure if everything will just magnetically attach right away or not, or if you need like the special Apple accessories, because Apple finally is coming out with essentially a smaller version of their what they were dubbing Air Power several years back that ended up getting canceled. Now they just have this little mini adapter that charges both your Apple Watch and a phone.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's called the MagSafe Duo Charger, I guess. They also announced much more eco-friendly things like being carbon neutral by 2030, and they're removing even more things now, like they announced last month. Not only are they going to be removing their power bricks from their boxes, but they're also removing headphones now, which I don't know if a lot of other phone manufacturers were including headphones anyway in the first place. But,
Samsung maybe.
I mean, like, I see it both ways. Like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, a lot of people do have these things already. They're also going to be saving money by doing this, clearly. Like, I don't think anyone is going to pretend otherwise, but...
Well, yeah, you don't need all that like, seriously, I probably have like 3 or 4 pucks laying around that I could use still.
Right,
To
exactly.
be honest, like,
That's funny.
they don't
because
go bad quick. Like, they last. So,
I just got a deal on 3 of them for that I just bought too, which is kind of funny. But they do go bad sometimes. Like, they'll get that yellowish at the end. Like this one here might even be starting to get it, which is apparently could be a fire hazard. So watch out for that. But so USB-C, they're bringing I think to all the iPhone 12 models as well. Not to be confused. It's still going to have Lightning. It's a little bit confusing. It's the Lightning to USB-C adapter, so you're getting like potentially a little faster charging with that, essentially, and I guess data through if you're trying to transfer data through it. $799, or if you're a normal human being, $800. That's coming November 6th, pre-orders, and available on the 13th of November. They also announced the iPhone 12 mini, which this was all pretty much leaked prior to this, so a lot of this is no surprises, but saying it's the smallest, thinnest, lightest.
Is it smaller, Shane?
You think? It's...
Is it in size? I mean, like, is it smaller?
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Fantastic.
It's, I think they're specifically saying smallest, thinnest, lightest 5G phone or whatever. They're saying, I don't know, $699 for that thing. It's
Now, in the
same.
90s, that would have cost more. Because everything was getting smaller.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Ah, yeah, that's a valid point.
True. It's true.
It's true.
That's
It's
cool.
true.
It's cool to see that
It's
that's
so
reversed.
true.
That's all I really have to say about that one. The
I mean,
other-
it's just it's thinner. That's all it is, right?
No, I mean, it's a smaller screen. In fact, it's smaller than... No, I just said, I think it's 5.4 inch, but it's even smaller than the previously... What the hell was the previous one? Like 5.9 or something. So it's... They're going back... It's not like going down to 3.5 inch like the original iPhone, but it's...
That would actually get me back in the game. I would go for that. If I could get a tiny little iPhone again,
You want the one from Zoolander?
I want
or
to be
whatever?
able to work it all with my thumb, man.
Yeah.
I don't like this whole like.
What, you got to reach out with your thumb?
I actually agree with you on this, Drew. Like this,
The first time I got an S5, that was the first. The Galaxy S5 was my first phone that was like not thumb controlled, and like the second like me and Erica went and got phones. She brought them out and like she purchased all the phones. And, like she gives it to me. I'm like, oh, we have to take these back immediately. These are garbage. You can't touch half the screen.
right.
I want to go back.
It took me some getting used to for sure, and it still takes some getting used to for me for some of the stuff. And they tried to do that. What the hell do they call it? Reach or whatever. Where you double tap the button to bring down half the screen.
Yeah, you had to learn a new way to use your phone, and then it didn't work. No.
So now I just learned to super extend my thumbs and things. I don't know. It's not great still. So I agree in that regard, which is why I refuse to go. Well, we'll get to it. But
I mean, for a phone, like I'm more than willing to have a tablet that I use for other things. It's much bigger than a phone.
and
I'm that guy. I could have two devices, but
That
if
is
I
not-
go traipsing around in the woods or something, I would like a small thing that I could just carry with me that does minimal stuff.
Yeah, like the iPad, or tablet, whatever. You're not using that with a single hand, not even remotely. So, I mean, at one point, I had the iPad Mini, and that you could kind of hold with one hand, but ultimately, that's not what it's for. So,
I had a Kindle that you could almost do that.
sure. In fact, I had the Paperwhite, which that was small. You literally could do that. But anyway, so the iPhone 12 Pro is the next. This guy, probably
This is the
most.
flagship, right? This is the
I mean,
enterprise of
This is the big boy.
I wouldn't say it's flagship. Because
Yorktown.
most
This is
people are probably getting the 12.
This is the caviar of Apple.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes, exactly.
Lay it on machine.
There we go.
Why should we get this?
Yeah.
So one of the more immediate differences you might see also has the flat edges, but they are stainless steel, that's just how it is on the current ones. The Pro models have the stainless steel rim, and the non-Pros have the aluminum rim, which I will say that may not sound like a big deal, but I have noticed firsthand that this thing holds up way better. If this falls or drops, you don't get a dent or a scratch or anything on this thing. The aluminum rims, now, more noticeable, certainly, obviously, this isn't going to be a problem if you have a case, but if you don't have a case, that'll get dented, scratched up a lot easier, the aluminum. So the stainless steel on the Pro, that's a big win for me personally. There's 4 colors, and it's the silver, graphite, gold, and blue. The blue is new. They did away with the green, which you can kind of see. Well, you guys again can't see, but anyway, that's the green on the current Pro, which is subtle. They always do this on their top end models. They don't want to give too many color options because they figure you're more mature or something, or more, I don't know. You don't want the special colors for some reason. I don't know what exactly, or it might have something to do with they just don't want to make as many of the more expensive phones. Who knows exactly, but I'm still deciding which color I want to go with because I am on the upgrade program, and I think I'm kind of leaning gold this time. We'll see. The colors are not so. The colors that they have.
Is there a rose gold?
There's not a rose gold. This
No
time.
rose gold.
I don't think there's any rose gold.
I think they got rid of it.
Right.
It's
So
gone.
on the 5 colors on the standard 12, those are all very much richer colors also, and they're just way more toned down and lighter shades on the Pro. So I don't think the blue looks nearly as cool as the blue on the standard 12, but that's just me. So the displays, they're increasing size on both of the Pros. They're going to 6.1 from 5.8 on this guy. So that's another thing I got to keep in mind, is that the size potentially is increasing, I guess. And then 6.7 for the Max, up from 6.5. And the Max being the biggest of the big iPhones, right? So I was a little bit confused at first. They say it's 4 cameras. Well, again, that's counting the front-facing camera also. What I thought a lot of people thought for sure they were going to do 4 cameras on the back, but they still do just have the 3 on the back, which is the wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto lenses. Now, the telephoto being the one that is and I believe this was the case with the last model as well, being the additional camera that was added from the standard 12. And I have found, I actually like, that is sort of like my other selling point here, because that, I don't know, I can't stand digital zoom. That's always been like a big issue for me. So being able to zoom in pretty far with having relative clarity is kind of an important deal for me personally. The other thing, they didn't do this with previous models to the best of my knowledge, but they're adding better camera features now to the Max. So they kind of figure they got more space to work with, may as well take advantage of that a little bit. So you can look up those exact specs if you want. I don't personally understand all the f aperture stuff. I'm not a photographer, but the little bit of photos that I do take, I use my phone for anyway. So clearly I don't know that stuff. They're also adding this Pro RAW type of deal, which is, again, it's supposed to allow you to manipulate. There's more features that I'm not aware of, first of all, but it allows you to manipulate photos in a RAW format. Essentially, was what I got out of it. But you can also do this HDR video recording. Sounds neat. I mean, I vaguely understand HDR being like compiling, 3 images into one, and that's kind of cool to be able to do that. And also this Dolby Vision HDR, which they didn't go too far into, but it sounds to me, if it's Dolby, that has to do with sound somehow. Somehow also has to do with the video and the HDR. This is new to me as well, but it sounds cool. They're also adding this LiDAR, which I had to look up. It sounds, or I didn't have to, I guess they went through it, but my understanding is it's basically like the Microsoft Kinect, or the Xbox Kinect, where it's a bunch of these
Sounded like it.
tiny lasers being
like
shown onto something.
Yeah, it's like mapping out what it can see in the room that you're pointing at.
That's a super cool piece of tech, man. Like,
It is cool. I don't know how much use I would get out of it, but it sounds like you can essentially get better imagery with your camera in your
but
video.
like in an Orwellian nightmare, that just seems kind of terrifying too.
Hey.
If you think like what you could do with that.
But it does. But hey, NASA uses it for the Mars landing, so that's pretty
Yeah,
neat
right,
too.
right.
There you go.
I mean, Apple seems to be pretty good about privacy right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as far as like any of those big companies go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So $9.99 starting for the
Dang though.
Bro.
$9.99.
Yeah, that's what kills me. Like, it's a great phone, but ooh.
What's the deal with the upgrade, Shane? What's
$10.99 for the Max. Starting, mind you, they did increase the storage from. I guess it was starting at. For some reason, it was starting at 64 previously.
That's the upgrade price?
What? No. What? What do you mean?
I'm sorry. Like, if you have the 11 and you walk into the store, they're not going to cut you like an upgrade price, like
Well,
for you, buddy.
no, that is full. That's full price. But for me, I'm doing the monthly payments because that's how the upgrade program works. So it's like $42 a month or something. But mind you, yeah, that is just the starting storage price. So you're going to pay a little bit more for upgraded
Basically,
storage.
you're doing device financing like they do in the cell phone stores, but just you're going through Apple.
Yes, exactly. I don't know why I put doubling here. Doubling. Oh, yeah, doubling the initial storage space. Because I shouldn't say that they're doubling it. They halved it at one point, where initially the starting was 128 gigabytes, and they took it down to 64 at some point. So yeah. So now it's actually.
And they still don't give you like they totally took away like the option of like putting like a micro SD in the back of that.
They gotta extend your
Yeah, for sure.
Because like you could easily get that up to 2 terabytes just by putting a little card in the back of it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no.
I mean, it'd be slower. It would not be like very quick.
Yeah, you'd have to have
Probably used to doing.
an lightning accessory or something. Yeah, I guess you can do that because I have waves. I have an adapter that's like a Lightning, USB, USB-C, like 3-prong deal that you can put memory cards in. So there's ways. It's not as nice, yeah, for sure.
Not as elegant.
No, definitely not. At any rate, pre-orders for those are October 16th and available on October 23rd.
No, those are super nice, man. That's way better than the trash fire that I'm about to buy.
Yeah, did you want to talk about that now?
I mean, I could just briefly touch on it.
Wait,
So,
hold
like,
on.
News.
That's all you get. That's all you get, Drew. I get the special.
I know, I like that.
Special
I like
event.
That. That's good. I wish it would, like, we'll talk. So, Mike, like, I know you got a Thor poster. I'm kind of known for being, like, that guy.
No, Thor? Nice. Alright.
No, I want to believe. Like, you guys, by the way, did you see that Trump got asked about aliens again on live TV?
Yes.
Says he's going to look into it.
Drew,
And then he immediately started talking about how we've got an excellent military. So
Drew-
I think
Drew's all about
we're
them
pretty
aliens.
close to war with the aliens. Guys. Space Force is coming.
Space Force is in full effect.
And so, like, yeah, I'm known for, like, also having, like, the Pixel 2 or whatever the antithesis is to Apple. But, like, I've noticed that even my Pixel 2, and this is a 2, like, I can't imagine what the 5 is going to be like. It's probably going to be next level on creep factor. Because, like, this thing, like, I know people are like, oh, my phone's listening to me, it's picking up on stuff like that. But, like, I actually pay Amazon to put speakers in my house so I can talk to the Echo and all of that.
Exactly.
So, like, I know I'm being listened to, but, like, I don't think they're listening to me because I think, like, this is aggregate data about, like, my search results, my friends and contacts search results, my GPS. When I bump into them, I'm close to them. Oh, they bought a stroller and they're having a kid, blah, 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 blah. And Target got into trouble with this a long time ago. Back when they were doing newspaper ads, like, they started sending out, like, diaper coupons to mothers that were expecting, but way before, like, anyone knew that they were expecting, and people started getting creeped out about that. So Target had to dull it back a little bit. I've been looking at phones. I've been looking at actually 2 of them. The one is called the Light Phone 2, and I just I've been looking at it. I've been watching it come along, and the project looks cool. Basically, it's like that Kindle e-ink for the screen, and then it's really slimmed down. It just does phone calls, it does GPS, and maybe a couple other features. That's it. So that one looks kind of cool, and that one is in that small form factor that we were talking about that we kind of miss a little bit. The other one that I came across is the Pine Phone, and they are about to put out a community version of their new Manjaro OS.
Which is just a hilarious name, by the way.
Manjaro is really cool. It's an Arch-based
Pine Phone.
Linux, so it's like it's always a rolling release, so that's kind of cool. The Pine Phone, yeah, no, that is kind of funny. It's basically, I mean, like when it first started, it looked like they just grabbed a Raspberry Pi, jammed it into a phone case, and then just put that out, and it did not work.
Nice.
But it's starting to work, and by the specs, like totally, like it would literally be like, trying to think of like what the difference would be. A Porsche versus like a Kia Rio.
Okay.
Like these are definitely different classes of spec. Like it's boasting that it now has a vibration mode for phone calls. So like it's a little behind on a lot of stuff.
Sure.
But some of the stuff that it is boasting, basically like Linux and open source is all about like, this is your device, do with it what you want. So first of all, if you don't like the Manjaro operating system, you can just pop out the SIM card in the back, pop in another one, or flash something else on there. You can use like Ubuntu Touch. There's a couple other touch-based distros that are coming out for mobile and phone and tablet. So that's kind of cool. It boasts that it can do every flavor of Linux, but I think you'd have to like at least be touchscreen compatible to play in this game. Battery comes out, so that's exciting. When was the last time you got to take the battery out of your phone?
Old school right there.
That's been a long
Right?
time.
That has been like, a decade maybe?
Probably,
There's a bunch of kill switches in the phone itself. So like if you want to make sure that your front camera doesn't work, you just go in the back of your phone, turn the kill switch off. It does that for the 2 microphones and several other like hardware components to the phone, so you can actually like lock that down yourself. And then obviously because it's a Linux kernel, if you want to go in and straight up like alter the OS itself, you have that option. So it's kind of cool in that aspect that like, first of all, like if anyone's going to write an exploit, they're not going to come after the Pine phone. I don't think anyone's going to sit down and target those 4 users.
Yeah, right.
But,
well, and I made that joke earlier.
But that is also going to make it hard for like app development and stuff like that. You're not going to see as cool of software on this. You're not going to see as good as hardware on this.
It's funny that you went with the same number I mentioned, because I was like, you and the 3 other...
Yeah, no, I added those 3 up, and you know what? I found out you were accurate. You were absolutely correct in that number.
Nice.
But I think like they do say like right off that, let me just hop over to the store, that this is a community version, so definitely expect to have some problems. Like if you're not a tinkerer, this is not the phone for you.
Sure.
And if you're not like thinking about dropping off the grid, maybe this is your second phone, your toy phone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they are launching it. I'm trying to find the date off the website. I know it's coming up in November. And it sells, they've got a $149 version and a $199 version. So like breaking the bank, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna splurge, I think.
There you go. Cool, man. Well, you have to let us know.
I'm sure it's a steam and heap, and I'm not even sure I'll be able to like actually make a phone call on it, because like I'd have to call around and find phone plans for someone that like maybe Wi-Fi Republic or something will send me a SIM card that I can try.
Right.
I mean, like really, I don't know. I'm not gonna call Google because Google Fi is on this guy. Like I don't think I can just call up Google and be like, "Yo, I'd like to put this on your network." I think they would just tell me to go stuff myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
In a kind way. But like one thing for sure, this phone will not like track you and follow you around and stuff like that.
There you go. Yeah, it's all about what, use case for each user.
I mean, like if you were a man that like had a business that you did not want like out there on everyone's servers, this would be the phone for you.
Yeah, I suppose.
Sounds like that'd probably be like a phone for my buddy Tyler. He'd probably enjoy something like that.
He might be.
Do we have the same Tyler? I've got a Tyler in my life too.
Is he the same kind of guy? Yeah, no, I gotta give it to you, Drew, for finding these things even in the first place. Like that's pretty cool. And
I have meltdowns sometimes, Shane, where I'm just like, I just get anxiety about this thing. Like,
sure.
Like I'll briefly I think I just thought that I might want to look that up, and then boom, like just nonstop ads about stuff. And I know it happens to everyone now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I think that like our algorithms have started to okay, so when the first computer beat like the smartest human at chess.
Yeah.
That was a bad day. Because that means that we've finally created a machine that like can think further enough ahead that can like outsmart the smartest what we have in our melons here. And the average person is not like the grandmaster chess. We're not all Bobby Fishers walking around here.
Speak for
Some
yourself.
of us are barely Fishers. Like it's like the dopamine response of like social media accounts and stuff like that. That whole cycle of advertisement. I think we've gotten to a point. Like, how many times have you sat down to like watch a YouTube video and then realized, well, that was the afternoon.
Yeah, that's true.
Done with that.
Very true.
Right. So like I think we've gotten to that point where advertisement has gotten to the point where like you just don't have a chance. Like some people are a little bit better about turning it off and putting it away sometimes, but most people that are successful with that are like, yeah, I don't have any of that on my phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I have to literally go find the laptop that I used to do that, and I keep that up on a shelf somewhere.
Right. Yeah, that's it's a good point.
So I'm gonna rig this thing up. I'm gonna see if I can make it work. Yeah.
I, for one, embrace our overlords, whatever they may be.
Oh no, I mean I have a Google
Overlords?
phone. Too. Like I think if you didn't have a Google phone, you'd look weird. Or like if you didn't have one mainstream one,
Yeah,
like if you were
yeah.
walking around totally off the grid, they would think you were some sort of hard target and just come at you.
Well, yeah, good. I mean, best of luck with that. Again, I look forward to hearing back for sure. Now we get to talk about my dumb rant about stupid things. I know this is a real dumb one. I'll admit it up front, but here we go.
You know what
No, you
really
gotta own it, Shane. Lean into
grinds
it.
my gears?
You know what really grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears, Shane?
Oh boy, coffee cup sleeves.
All right, let's get into it. You protect your hand from the hot cup. Go ahead. Why are you mad at them?
This should be good.
I mean, it does an okay job of not burning my hand straight off, but it's just constantly sliding off. The things are not even tall enough to fit my hand. That's all I got. It's they're eco-friendly. That's what they got going for them, I guess, is they're made.
We didn't
from-
have to do this bit. Like, I mean, if that's all you had, we could have just left it out.
No, it must be done. It must be talked about. I mean, I don't know. Anybody else have this issue? I feel like
I'm a contrarian,
I've not
by
really had
nature.
any kind of issue.
they slide off all the time.
so I have to say I'm pro them. I can't think of a really.
I mean, of course, it's been a while since I've gotten a hot coffee. Usually it's been cold coffee, cold brew. I don't really need a sleeve for that.
I haven't left my house in 6 months, man. Like,
Yeah,
we got ceramic mugs here.
that's fair.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
just
still going to Starbucks? Is that
No,
a thing?
I mean, no. I once in a while I go to. Okay,
I'm not shaming ya. I kind of want one.
Yeah, no,
I haven't gone to a coffee shop in like a few months now. I was going with Shane like, a little bit, and then, but now it's like, I'm not going again.
I like those trendy indie.
I stay the hell away
Coffee
from
shops.
people. I'll tell you that. I don't.
I like the ones where like there's the girl with dreads like sitting there writing bad poetry.
I get very uncomfortable
Maybe-
if anybody even comes
maybe
close to me.
smoking.
So, no, coffee shops have been, at least the ones around here, have been very quiet for the most part, which is
Not-
the only reason I even considered it. But anyway,
If only the bars could be that.
yeah, that's true. Now, I don't know if there's a better way of handling this, really. It's a dumb thing. I realize it's a dumb thing. Maybe just a little tape. Just throw a little tape on it. It'll be fine. It's meant to be a dumb segment, Drew. I admitted it. You're right. We didn't
I mean,
have
you
to do it.
You could
No,
bring some
I'm wrapping
super
my head
glue
around
or
the tape.
something. Have a
Like,
little
Shane, you can bring your own mug first of all. Like,
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Well, you
can
can't
be like,
use it. No,
can't.
they'll say no. They don't allow it. Right
can't
now.
you just take theirs and go?
Yeah, maybe. I
I've
don't
done
know.
that.
That's a thing, I guess. Yeah, that's true. But anyway, that was the point. This came from Family Guy, where Peter Griffin talked about even stupider shit.
I know. I know where the thing came from.
I
You're
think
right.
everyone in this room knows where that came from.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, moving on then.
XP
XP boost.
Boost.
Big surprise, we're talking about another Apple product here. It's the Apple Watch Series 6, which I have here on my wrist, of course. That's a good place for it. It's not a huge improvement from the 5, honestly. But seeing as how I had the 4 prior to this, let's go ahead and zoom in here for the folks at home. Well, that's not gonna that doesn't really do much. How about now? Now you can actually see the display, maybe. It's hard to do, though. I gotta rotate it the correct way. Anyway, here you go. Here you go. There's a nice view of it. So, like I said, not a big upgrade from the 5. I had the 4 prior, so it was... I've allowed myself a 2-year cycle with upgrading the watch. And the big jump from the 5 with this one is the blood oxygen sensor, which at first I was like, and I still kind of am like, well, that's kind of a obscure thing. But I guess it's kind of a big deal. They tout it as being sort of like an indicator of your overall health. I guess, which is good. I mean, that's good. I'm all for it because, like, I like the heart, heart rate sensing things that are already on the watch, that type of thing. Basically, I'm hoping this thing is going to save my life someday. That one chance I maybe needed to. Even though they say, like with the heart rate sensor, well, Apple Watch cannot detect signs of a heart attack, blah, blah, blah. Well, but maybe it'll give me some sign.
It'll get
Maybe
that.
it'll show something, but
You'll probably have to get like an injection of like tiny little. What I'm picturing is like a
Nanobots?
smaller version of what was in Tornado, that movie where they were trying to get those sensors up
It's
to map a tornado.
kind of
Twister was the name of that one.
Twister's classic.
Yeah, that was a good movie. He belts himself to the pipe at the end.
Yeah, which
Save the girl.
My science
I don't
teacher
know
at the
if
time
that
told me
worked.
was very unrealistic, and they would have.
yeah,
just
that would
died.
not work in real life.
Well,
Like that
mostly.
little leather belt is gonna get ripped right out.
Yeah,
Well, I think it was more about the fact that all this shrapnel and stuff is flying around and somehow not impaling them. But
I
that
broke
too.
I broke a belt with cheesecake, so like
what?
Well, hey, my buddy
You
used
mean
my
by
belt
eating a lot of
to
it?
tow his car one time, and that didn't last too long.
dumb idea. That was,
Yeah.
Did he get you a new belt?
Oh yeah, he did. He's like, I gotta buy you a new belt. I'm like, why don't we just call it tow truck? Because a tow truck's too much money, dude.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
you
that's-
like the watch?
I do like the watch.
You do. Okay.
I do like to watch. I do like to watch.
I do.
So you had the 4,
I had the 4. Now I have the 6.
going up to the 5.
6.
You have the 6. You skipped the
6
5.
now. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Every 2-year cycle I'm on right now. So
like, okay. So what's the deal with it?
the blood oxygen sensor.
That's
That was
about
the big
it.
upgrade. They added
Colors.
They added the colors red and blue to it, which I think Mike might be getting one of those possibly.
I'm getting the blue one.
Oh, I thought you were all about that red.
I got the red iPhone.
Oh,
gonna get the blue.
it's
Gotta
gone.
go and patriotic a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, one of the sort
You're
of
both. You're both going in on this watch.
well, yeah.
what is
I
the
guess
what
so.
is the cost of this watch?
It depends which one you get. I mean, we'll get to that in a moment. But so one thing that they did do, which is actually a negative, is they removed the Force Touch, which they've been doing. They removed the 3D Touch from the phone with a few models earlier, but added a larger battery in the process. Same deal here, so potentially getting better battery life, which, if you're not aware, the Force Touch basically is like you hard press to do certain actions, which I actually liked. I liked it on the phone. I liked it on this. Now they're doing this like long press instead, so you have to hold. And I've never been about that, like waiting for any action, but here it is. You don't have to wait that long. It's fine. I don't have to do it a lot. It's probably worth the extra battery life. So it's a better watch overall. Now, one of the other additions, as you might notice with this watch, now this is obviously not unique to this phone because you can put bands on any watch, but this is one of their solo loops, they call it, which is a all-around band. So you don't have a clasp, you don't have any of that BS to worry about, which I like a lot. Now, the big sort of disadvantage with this is you need to get a very particular size. You need to measure your wrist first and make sure that it fits. So they have all these different sizes available.
Any wrists?
I mean, I thought I
Do they have
did.
tiny little sizes?
I thought I had super small wrists, but everybody else I talked to seems to have smaller wrists for some reason. Which
yeah, didn't I have one that you're like, I was like a 7 or 8 or something like that. Or no?
right, which is maybe just a little bit smaller. But yeah, I've talked to like a coworker was a 6, and I was like, huh. Which whatever, no judgment. I'm just surprised about it. They also are doing, so this is the like rubber, and they're also doing this braided version of this, which looks pretty neat, I think. And I do want to end up getting that. They have a few different colors with that, but I have to wait till the end of this month before the product red version comes out, which is kind of the one that I was most interested in. It's a very cool braided look though, and I like it. Probably going to go ahead and get that. Mind you, it's like $100, so at least the Apple version. It's not cheap. Amazon, I'm sure, will have something at some point. Now, from the 4, for me personally, some of the big upgrades were the always-on screen, even though it's not looks like it's off right now, but maybe only when it's on your wrist. The way they kind of do some trickery with that because, for instance, in the case of this particular face I have right here, it's got this white display, which, it's not going on. Anyway, it's got a white display that gets inverted after a few seconds. So, it goes back to the mostly black display for this particular face. That's one way it kind of saves battery. It also, normally when you have the display on, it shows the second hand animating smoothly the whole time, but then it just goes away to updating every minute once the display decides it's inactive or whatever you want to call it. So those are just some of the ways it's allowing the battery, saving battery that way. Now, I like that because, there's different ways. I should put it back on just 1 second here. Let's see. So what was I going to say about it? I don't know. It's nice. If I could just wait until it actually turns off to give you an idea, it's going to take forever now. Well, anyway. It saves battery. Essentially what I can do is I can glance down without activating the display now and tell what time it is. That's a big part of it. Or potentially I can see what the date is, I can see what the weather is, that type of thing. Now if you're in a different app, if you're in listening to podcasts, and your watch face isn't actually on at the time, it actually shows waiting for it to actually work. It's never going to work when I need it to. It'll show just a straight time, a big digital version of the time. There it is. If I can get in there fast enough, you just see just a.
Do it.
Anybody see that? Yeah, I think you can see it.
Yeah.
It's just a nice. It blurs out the background and it shows you what the current time is. Also, so relatively always on display, but that's what I liked about it anyway.
Question. You said listening to podcasts. Have they put any memory on those things yet? Where you could download some stuff just to watch.
They've had
I'm gonna go on a run. I just wanna have I want to not take my phone.
They've had it from the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, from the beginning. I'm sorry, I don't know anything about smartwatches.
I want to say 4 gigs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy to do.
8, it says 8.
Can't you get the Apple Music on the cellular one?
Yeah, right. So this is a cellular version of it. Oh wow, 32 gigs on the 6. What?
Really?
Apparently, that's pretty good. Either way, so I have a cellular version. I'm able to, at least listen to Apple Music on the go. They're a little bit restrictive when it comes to other services through cellular, of course, but so that's the other things I want to mention about the Solo Loop that I like a lot. So it meets the 2 criteria that I was sort of waiting for on a watch band, which is having to be both waterproof and something that doesn't have a piece of metal on the bottom that is likely to scratch up my MacBook of all things. I always thought it was kind of odd that Apple put out these bands that had metal on the bottom of them, but not everyone puts their wrists on the laptop. I understand, but or palms, my wrists. I very much do this a lot, so it was a big deal for me. And yeah, it stretches, so it comes on and off pretty easily. I like that a lot. Anyway, yeah, $399 starting point on Apple.com or wherever.
$400.
Okay, well.
God dang, that's a lot of money.
For only $400.
It's not a Rolex, man.
I suppose.
It's a lot smarter than a Rolex.
I would say it's a life-saving watch in some ways.
Exactly.
Could be a life-saving watch.
Well, yeah, to me it's I don't know. It is above and beyond rated better than any other smartwatch out there as far as I've seen. But, oh geez, Drew, you're messing up the stream, Drew.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you cut me off.
Did I? Oh no, I can probably stop it. I thought it was gonna.
How dare you?
Sorry.
If you need to share something, I can put it up though.
I was just throwing it up as a goof. I didn't think it would mess up the stream. I'm sorry. I messed everything up.
How dare you?
Okay.
I hit myself, and I'm sorry.
So
No, I just noticed that the phone that I was talking about as an alternative to Apple has a Pine Time smartwatch, and they're selling a 3-pack of them for $74.
okay.
But literally in giant bold text next to it, it says, "This is for deployment purposes only. It's not for the end user that's looking for a ready-to-wear smartwatch. Please note there is no refund for a brick or broken Pine Time."
Sounds
So
very
like one of
confident.
these things just is dead in the water. There's
Nice.
nothing. That's why they send you 3, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Okay. Well,
But I might
some-
get one. Like I kind of am tempted to get that with my Pine phone, and like
Pine Time. Man.
sorry, I'm sorry. No, all the Apple products are far better than everything I suggest. Everyone should do what Shane does.
Hey, Apple has.
If you do what I do, I will meet you in the woods and
Whoa.
at midnight. Please come wearing black.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't know. I'll always be the
I
first
think
to
that's
say.
from Ronin.
Oh, okay. I'll always be the first to say that Apple is not without their problems. Absolutely. 5 out of 5 stars, though. Have not really had
Got
any
a 5
issues.
out of 5.
Have not really had
Wow.
any issues with this thing so far. So really
Cool.
digging it. At the same time, I might return it.
Do
Well,
it.
only because
Send it
so.
back. Get your cash.
I will say this is the titanium model, which you pay a bit more for, but it got fat. It got here faster, along with that
How
particular
much more?
solar. You can look it up. Maybe
Oh.
double the price, or
So you're saying like $800?
$100 for a watch, man.
I can pay $400 for a watch, but $800? Nah.
well, I might return it. If I return it, it would be for the graphite one, and that's still only going to be like $100 cheaper. So
Oh
whatever.
god.
Maybe the gold
Do that.
one. Anyway,
I go standard.
that's part of the reason I only do this every 2 years. That's all I got, folks. Good night, everybody.
I would buy one and I would hand it down to my bloodline as a cherished heirloom. It's the most expensive watch that's ever been owned by a Wintermeyer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, there's even cheap. I should say you can get cheaper. You get the Apple Watch SE now for like $300 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the blue watch where it's only $400.
Yeah, there's cheap options.
Well, no. Well, if I
Cheap.
get the one with the braided band, I don't know if that costs more or if it just comes.
If you get it with it, it doesn't cost more. And in fact, I was very surprised to find that I got 2 bands in this case. Came with the standard one with the standard rubber one, and then also the solo loop. So I'm guessing that's the case with the braided one as well. At any rate, techiespodcast@gmail.com is where you can email the podcast if you have any questions or comments, or want to tell me how stupid that Grinds Our Gears segment is. Please feel free to write in. You can find other things. You can find at Techies Podcast on social media in general, across the board. But now at Shave Mad Ox is my personal and now place where I am broadcasting most things, specifically on Twitch. That's where you can go for this. So that'll about do it. NiceGuyNetwork.com/techies though is still I know it's so many different things here, but that is the website specifically for the podcast. Find us on iTunes. Give us a rating. Would love that very much. Hey, do you guys? I know Drew doesn't use Twitter. Mike, do you use Twitter?
Ooh.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
You can find me in like the lower 20% of Shane's Twitch streams sometimes,
It's true.
and in the aforementioned woods.
That was it was a lot of fun. That was super fun recently. We had
That was a good time.
a lot of viewers for that particular stream just a few days ago. But Good times, yeah. Again, me on Twitter specifically, occasionally will tweet. I'm getting a little more into that myself, but at Shave Maddox for that as well. Thank you so much, Drew, because you're the first one I see here. Thank you, Mike, for joining for the first time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Appreciate
it was
you
fun.
guys being here. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate all your feedback. I appreciate everyone out there in the audience, all 4 of you. And until next time, tech her easy.
Please hang up and try again.
Okay, keep in mind the video's still rolling.
That was a fun time. Good time, man. That was a good one,
Yeah,
actually.
good
Felt
time.
like it kept
Actually.
moving. We didn't get bogged down in like a bunch of dry detail. There was a narrative, I felt.
Yeah, that's better. I feel like Drew carries me on that stuff sometimes.
I get bored, but I can't pay attention. That's my ADD, though. It's not like you. That's just like I probably should have been.
Fair enough, fair enough. So I gotta save this thing as a MP3, I guess. I guess that's the deal. I could save it as a... I don't care about saving it as a higher form. Well, I take that back. Maybe I should save it as a wave initially. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Good times. Good.
I never know exactly when to cut the video stream off. I don't really see... There's like 2 people watching. It might just be you guys. I don't know. But you know, it's whatever. It's just...
I killed my feet so I could scratch.
Okay. Well, if you guys are going to cut your video, then I suppose I can also cut the...
Did anyone actually... Did we have anyone hop in the stream?
They were in there.
I didn't pay attention, because,
It might have just been you guys, though.
got some of your boys.
Yeah. I could play a little music, though, to end the stream,
You have
too.
so much going on during your... I like that you do a show. It's kind of cool. You actually, put a lot of, the Muzak intros and stuff like that. It's good stuff.
Thanks, yeah. That Muzak. Good stuff. I think I do have to go back and take out a slight F-bomb at the beginning.
Oh, I definitely threw some F-bombs. There are a couple.
No, I only remember the one. That's probably all that matters.
Seriously, a 3-pack of smartwatches that are, come with a warning of this might not work.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting them.